Alrighty, hello friends, welcome to M3 number 11, the final part in our 5-part series on Blink-182. Our final episode title is Skiba 182. I am your host, Alex Wolski, and I am joined by the Minister of Love himself, the lonely astronaut, Tyler Cetera. How you doing, bud?
Hello. People out there in the world. I'm here with my new merch for this episode. Check out my love hat. Got my Tom DeLonge Lily astronaut book. I
Yep.
came fully prepared.
So he's embraced the gimmick. Like we've, after 5 episodes of this, and again, we just remarked, this is M3 number 11, but this is really episode 5. The other episode, the interview show is kind of dead at this point. Maybe it'll come back for like a few one-time specials, the Christmas special. But
Ooh.
we are.
Just interview me.
Yeah, dude, exactly. But it'll be an interview. It won't be on Blink-182 anymore. But actually,
Zero research.
Nothing will be about Blink-182 anymore because this is it, episode 5 of 5. We thought this would be 3 when we started. This wasn't even a podcast when we started. This wasn't a thing. And now it is. Part 5. We are in the stars. All right, last episode was to the stars. Now we're amongst them.
We are up here in space.
We are. We last left you at the very beginning of the Skiba 182 era. He's in the band. Tom's out. He's building a rocket ship. Shit's about to go down. And this all happened around March of 2015. I mean, Mark Hoppus and Matt Skiba had already wanted to work together for, several years, and he was the only person considered for the role. I don't think there was anybody else they wanted. And they just kind of got together. And apparently, and I'm getting this off the Wikipedia page, they had legal battles with Tom DeLonge. They worked those out. After that, Skiba's in.
Skiba was in. Well, because they had a show to play. Because originally he was just supposed to be temporary. I don't remember how much of this we covered in the last one, but yeah, like they hit Travis's music show or the festival. Tom had originally agreed to play it, and then was like backing out and stuff, and so they asked Skiba originally just to fill in. They didn't know what they were going to do. I mean, I think Mark and Travis had an idea of what they were going to do,
right?
But they didn't say it out loud.
Yeah, but going from Matt Skiba joining a band that has been together for years in 2015 and I think, again, March 2015, their first album together dropped in July of 2016. It fucking went number 1 in the U.S., and they had a fucking Grammy nomination.
Yeah. I think it was the UK, too. I forget I have it in my notes, but yeah, I think they even did it both.
Yeah.
First time ever, which was hilarious.
And that's a testament to Matt Skiba because, jumping forward just a little bit, we're going to go into the album, but excuse me. But Matt Skiba really sang and performed like he had something to fucking prove on this album. And he, in my mind, did it expertly. In my mind, this is very much a Bon Scott, Brian Johnson sort of situation. Like, Bon Scott is awesome. And he was probably the most fitting singer for AC/DC. But in this case, in this universe, there happened to be one other person in the universe that could also be the lead singer for AC/DC, and it would make sense. Like, Brian Johnson singing Big Balls and Let There Be Rock. It still makes sense. It works. Skiba sings the long shit good, and he brings his own kind of flavor, but it's still Blink. And I come out and say it. Skiba 182... You should have just changed the name. This is a new... it's a new group. It's almost like a spiritual successor to Blink, and I'm all in. I'm all in, baby.
Yeah, I actually was surprised they didn't decide to just change the name. But it's fine. It's whatever. Like, there's been plenty of bands who changed the names and kept rolling. And honestly, I think it just adds to the debate. Because now, not only do we get to debate, favorite albums, but favorite versions of the band. Van Halen's been arguing over that for decades.
Yeah, and they're not old men. Like, there's a lot of years left in this group, and they're putting out good shit. They're playing shows. They're touring. Of course, COVID stopped that for now, but I'm betting when all this shit's over, they're going to get right back at it.
And Skiba's still doing Alkaline Trio. He put out an album not that long ago, I don't think.
Right.
So he's still going,
And
still chugging along.
and that's good for Alkaline Trio because I bet they're getting more publicity than they've ever gotten before. More
I'm
eyes on
sure.
them than they've had. Like, for real. Dude, Blink-182 has become a staple in music. They're legends.
If it wasn't for even more like even if they just did one album, if I was Matt Skiba, I would have done it 100%. Even if it was just for one album, just the amount of publicity and eyeballs to get on the other band.
Yeah. And his
Fuck yeah.
solo stuff is fantastic. Like, I went through, he did a split EP with this dude, Kevin Seconds, and it's awesome. If you haven't heard it, it's on Spotify. I will send it to you. I recommend it so highly. It's really good.
I think I saw that. Yeah,
But it's like half acoustic.
yeah. Because I went through a tear of when he joined the band. Because I knew some Alkaline Trio stuff. I wasn't a huge fan, but I knew enough. And so when he joined the band, I was like, well, let me go check the back catalog here and see exactly what flavor he's going to bring.
Right.
And honestly, like the California and the California Deluxe album, I think he shined way more on the deluxe part too.
Yeah. Then speaking of the deluxe part, so they recorded 28 songs originally, and you do have in your notes here that Travis Barker wanted to put all 28 songs out originally. They didn't. But this is where, and again, we had talked about this when it came out. So the original version of California was 16 songs, I believe. And it was
Still a lot.
And again, yes, that's a lot, and it was good. I enjoyed the singles off of it. And as a piece, it was good. I really enjoyed it. But for some reason, if you take all 28 of those songs, it's just the experience is that much better. I mean, it's doubled. It's another album worth of music. I think it's 14 other songs, and that in and of itself, I mean, it feels like it's a double album when the deluxe edition's out. Doesn't feel like songs that should have been cut.
I'm surprised they didn't put out just like a bunch of like little EPs or just straight put up another album because of how many songs they had.
Well, there's singles in there. Like they're in the deluxe edition. There's songs that should have been singles that should have been on the main release and had videos that weren't fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
We forgot. I had a video to watch before this, but we're gonna find a way to do it live. Don't worry, folks.
Oh, can we please watch that live?
No,
oh
we
my
will.
God.
We will. We will. We'll do it at the end. Actually, we'll do it like we'll do everything, and then we'll kind of end. We'll do a little bonus segment, and we'll handle that at the end.
That's pretty, yeah, because it's off of 9, so that works.
Right. So there was actually a new producer. Their longtime producer had passed away years prior. I don't think they ever really got comfortable with anybody else. But they have John Feldman step in, and he worked with 5 seconds of summer. That's okay. All Time Low, Goldfinger, weird lineup.
Well, oh yeah, well, not the producer. He is Goldfinger, but yeah.
Wait, the lead singer of Goldfinger?
Yeah, John Feldman is the lead singer of Goldfinger.
What?
You didn't know that? Oh,
nah,
great.
I didn't research that. Come on.
Yep.
You do.
So,
you do most of the notes. I drive this boat, okay? You put the gas in it.
Yeah. So, because there's like I think there's during COVID or some point, I don't know, because Travis performed with Goldfinger a couple times since John Feldman took over as producer. So it's kind of funny to watch him go play Goldfinger songs.
Dude, that would. Oh my God. Can you imagine Travis Barker playing Superman?
I don't have to. I've seen it. It was amazing.
Speaking of which, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 fucking remake. That'll be the second video game you get yourself back into.
Yes.
All right.
When did that come out?
Dude, September. Maybe we'll do a special. Maybe we'll do something special because that's going to be a special time.
I would gladly go over researching that and talk about the soundtrack. Oh, yeah. We can get into that.
Yes. I think we just discovered a future season. Anyway.
There we go.
So they, Feldman here had a speedy approach to writing, relying on your first gut instinct. They'd show up in the studio, write a few songs, and aim to finish a few that day. That seems dangerous, but at the same time, if you write something good, it seems like it would keep you from second guessing yourself. and tamper
And well,
too,
that
too much.
yeah, and that was his goal because Mark complained about it because that's not Mark's style, but Travis loved it because I guess the Transplants did it, which makes a lot of sense if you listen to Transplant albums.
I could, it's funny. I could even, I'm shutting my door now because I could have done the Transplant yell now. I feel like that bit's gone.
It's always funny.
I shot in heaven. Now I cry. I just blasted the fucking speakers out for so many people. I didn't even warn them. The fucking Transplants suck. Sorry.
So, Speedy Approach. Yeah, so Mark complained about it because Mark was definitely one day he like dwelling on it and he'd sit on his lyrics for days and weeks, and which I completely get. That's and I've written finished songs that I started writing like years before, but Feldman would be just like, "All right, we got the song, go write some lyrics and let's record." And he's like, "I'm not ready to record." And he'd be like, "I don't care. Write something down. Go in there and record.
Do your fucking job. I don't care.
Do it live.
Fuck it. Thing sucks.
Do it live."
But I do want to go over real quick because it seems like the recording process of this was fucking. It does seem like it was smooth. They got a new member of the band in, but it's someone they know and like that clicks with them, and they fucking get in there and they bang this shit out. California is a cool title. Yes, and that's insane. That's insane.
So many.
But they were probably really excited. Like when you click with someone new, you just like want to fucking bang. You know what I mean? You're making it for lost time, really.
Yeah.
But I do want to go over real quick before we dive into the album itself. The alternate titles.
Oh yeah.
Now there's one that isn't that bad. I'll let you go over the other ones, but the one I want to mention here is No Future, but they dropped it because it seemed too negative. Which, I mean, don't be afraid. This is a negative generation, man. We fucking eat that shit up. Like emo trap music, shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I thought that could have worked. I mean, shit. I mean, California did work. I think they actually it ended up choosing California because they realized they'd written so many songs about different cities in California. They're like, I think we already wrote the name. Like, we already chose it.
Yeah.
We had alternate titles. We got, like, OBGYN Kenobi, New Direction, and No Hard Feelings. Let's see. All other titles were like Los Angeles and Riot were other ones. But
they always have those
OBGYN Kenobi.
Like I feel like they always try to have those leaked or in some way, shape, or form, so people think they're actually considered. But there's no way.
Oh yeah.
There's no way, like a major record label or a major producer would want anything to do with something named OBGYN Kenobi.
They already did it. Take off your pants and jacket.
I know, but that
and Dude Ranch.
Point. But I still feel like OBGYN Kenobi is too...
It's too on the nose.
That is way too on the nose. That's too far. But let's dive into this. Again, we don't have to go through every song, but I really just want to go through some of your favorites, some of my favorites, favorite song, stuff like that. So you can go ahead, you lead off here, buddy. I want to pitch the ball to you. Give me your first thoughts on California.
So the first couple songs I heard off of it, I mean, I liked. I think I remember when Bored to Death came out. I think it came out, and you and me were actually going, I think, like into the studio that night.
Yes.
And so I know we were hammering it, and then I think I ended up recording a part where the drums were similar to it too, and I was like, I'm channeling Bored to Death. But yeah, I mean, I like the album. It was, I have notes on all the songs. I liked the extended album a little more just because I thought it was a little more experimental.
Yeah.
And honestly, listening to this album made me appreciate Neighborhoods more for just like their willingness to experiment a little more. I think John Feldman did get there's a lot of critiques on him and formulaic, and I don't think they've figured out whether they're singing about their youth, singing like they're the youth or singing to the youth. Like, I think they get a little confused because
Yeah.
sometimes it sounds like they're singing like they're children, and it sounds kind of weird.
I don't feel like they've
Uh,
ever grown up though. I feel like part of that, and I don't mean that in an insulting way. Again, I'm not trying to like, they're parents and shit, and I'm sure they're great.
mhm.
They're great parents. I'm sort of childish, for my age, but like at 40, it still seems like they're trying to relate to the same crowd that they were relating to when they were in American Pie and shit. And it's like, dude, now we've grown up with you. Like, don't be afraid to be a little more mature with us and approach more mature subjects. Like, we can handle it, man. We can handle you singing about Tom blatantly, like, or things that are hurting you. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want that. I wish it was more personal. Blink songs don't feel very personal to me. I love Blink, but I you know what I mean? It never feels like they're singing about a real person.
Right. And that's why I was stoked about Matt Skiba coming in, because I was like, oh, he's going to add a whole nother element of just his life to a lot of the stuff. Because when you hear his songs, you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure you're singing about you or someone you know at least. And like Mark and Tom, they took a lot of secondhand stories from people too. But there's a lot of songs where Mark's just like, it's just about a fictional person. I'm like, okay, I get it. That's fine. You have a song, but I prefer it be a little more personal. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like Cynical. I mean, the first song on the album might be my favorite, and I think you and me talked about this the other day. They love the approach of always leave them wanting more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So many goddamn songs off the next two albums. That all my favorite songs are that. Cynical is I don't even know the time. It's probably like
minute 56.
Minute. Oh, they made it almost 2 minutes. That's
why that one's just enough. Like, it's just on the tip of leaving you wanting more. I feel like they just barely give you enough. They give you a nice dinner with no appetizer and no dessert. They give you, they don't give you anything else. They don't give you any bridges or anything. It's just a nice dinner. Cynicals it's probably one of my first or second favorite songs. I like She's Out of Her Mind. I like the first single.
Was that their first single? I actually forgot to
no, not She's Out of Her Mind. Excuse me. No. Bored to Death. That's what I meant to say.
That's the first single.
That's what I meant to say. I like She's Out of Her Mind, but no, Bored to Death I enjoy. And I enjoy them feeling confident enough in themselves to put out a near 4-minute song as their first single. I can't remember the last time they did something like excuse me, like that.
I remember the first time I heard it. I think I said it to you when we first listened to it, and I was like, where does Matt sing? I actually couldn't tell Matt's voice and Mark's voice apart the first couple times I heard the song for whatever reason. I guess I was so used to hearing like Mark and Tom's differential. My brain was unprepared for two singers who kind of sing in the same range. So it's just like,
I helped you. I helped guide you to the way of the Skeebs.
Yeah, you're just like, no, he sings this part. I was like, oh, now I can't unhear it, but it was funny the first time I heard it.
He's different Tom. It's like when that new Becky who came on Roseanne, it's like, you're definitely different, but you're still kind of the same.
But you'll be fine.
Yeah, like it's like in a weird way you are the same. But I appreciate it. Los Angeles you have down here it is a more experimental song. It's nice that they kind of went with something a little less formulaic on the main album that wasn't a single. At least I don't think it was a single, was it?
No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Yeah, because I can remember it was either Los Angeles or San Diego that like baseball used during like the playoffs or something. I think it might have been San Diego, but yeah, I mean, Los Angeles it's fine. It's not my favorite song. I was glad they did something different, but I think in my notes I have it. It sounds like they wrote 4 songs and then just smashed them together.
They made sure to throw in a nice joke song for us. Built This Pool,
which when I heard it first time, I was like, oh, cool, funny, good joke, and I like that Travis says something at the end where he's like, "Is that it?" Like I thought that was funny, and then And then when it comes around, when you have the other joke songs, then I'm pissed about the joke songs.
Yeah, but we don't need it. Like, when was the last time there was a joke song on an album? It was "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket."
But even then, that was a full song. Well, so which one are you talking about?
Well, all right, so "Happy Holidays, You Bastard," I don't consider a joke song. That's just like a fucking kind of fuck you. It's kind of funny, but it's a punk song. You know what I mean? I consider that less joke song and more just kind of vulgar punk song. But
okay,
you know what I mean?
I
Like,
took it as a joke song.
it is a joke song. I still would like if you call it a joke song, I wouldn't say you're wrong. I think it's a mixture. You know what I mean? If somebody were to tell me they take it as a punk song, I would. You know what I mean? I'd accept that too.
Yeah.
Because especially at the end, they do like, "I wanna fuck my dad and my daughter too." Like, if that's not in there, I feel like it's much more open for debate. But that does kind of seal it. But still, it's kind of cool. But like when you fucked grandpa, that was on the deluxe. Yeah, "I want to fuck a dog in the ass." That was 2001. They didn't have a joke song on self-titled. They didn't have a joke song on the Greatest Hits, which is almost kind of its own album. It got remastered and shit. Neighborhoods, there's no joke song as far as I can remember. And I mean, Dogs Eating Dogs, no joke song. But why do they bring it back 15 years later? I don't know. It's just, I don't want that bit anymore.
Yeah, I would have been perfectly fine if they slammed out a live album and put them on there.
Yeah, like bonus tracks instead. But, oh no, yeah, like no, I see what you mean. Like, it just put them squarely or solely on a live album. Something silly.
Right, because that's what they did with, actually, I don't know. I think they actually did record. There's like the shit piss fuck cunt, that song.
Cocksucker motherfucker, yes.
Yeah, that's on the live album, but I think it is actually recorded on another album as well. There's like a short. I completely forgot to go look for this. There's an album out there that has nothing but like 30-second songs.
What?
From yeah, it's got like 100 tracks on it or something like that, and it's from all the punk bands you can think of. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that album until just now.
Well,
I can't remember what it's called. I know No Effects was on it for sure. Short songs for short people.
Short songs for short people. Boom, got it right here. Holy fucking shit! All right, I have screen share
about that.
So sidetrack, and this is something fun for the viewers at home. You can see my OBS there, but boom, we're looking right at it. Short music for short people. It's a 1999 compilation album released on the Fat Records record label, of course. It features 101 bands playing songs averaging approximately 30 seconds in length.
Yep.
Oh my god. Less Than Jake, Teen Idols, Good Riddance, Nerf Herder, Bigwig, Taris, blink-182, Swingin' Utters, Lagwagon, Guttermouth, Pennywise. Holy shit. We need to do something with this album. Sorry for the sidetrack, folks, but that was
right. I completely forgot about it. What's the
bonus episode?
Okay, no, they do Family Reunion. That was the Blink song in there. Okay, gotcha.
So that's
I mean, there's
the studio version of that song, right? So that was the only place the studio version of Family Reunion was, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Well, anyway, I don't want to.
I forgot about that.
I don't want to rage too much on the joke songs. This is like me raging on the rapper in 311. I did that. Yeah, I did that with Michelle in the car the other day. Again.
Did you?
Yeah, it was serious. I'll tell you about it off air.
Oh my god.
But moving on. Any other songs you want to dive into before we do our kind of favorites underrated?
Let's see. I got a couple notes here, just some random notes from like different songs off the album.
Yeah.
So let's see. Sober, the song Sober. It's funny. It's two different stories, and this is what I was talking about when Skiba was going to bring a whole nother element into it. So Mark's verse is just a story. Matt's verse is true. He was drunk and he was a messenger boy in Chicago and got hit by a car that ran a red light, and that's what his verse is about.
A bike messenger?
Yeah, he was a bike messenger, drunk, got hit by a car, and that's what his verse is about. So it's stuff like that I was like, and Mark's verse was just about a fictional couple fighting. So it's like, oh yeah, see, there we go. That's what I wanted from him. Also, Fall Out Boy, the singer from Fall Out Boy, helped write a line from that song. I'm a dandelion, you're a 4-leaf clover.
Good for
Patrick Stump.
Good for you, Patrick. We will never cover your band on this show, and it's not anything personal. Just please know that. Message me if you want to know why, because you fucking know what you've done. Anyway.
No Future, which is ironic that they almost called the album this. It was actually almost cut from the album. And I think that, I wrote that Travis's part on that song was one of like the wildest drum parts. I remember watching him record it. They put out like a ton of like, I don't know, Instagram and Twitter videos and stuff while they're recording the album. I remember watching him record that part and I was like, what the fuck? How does this even introduced into a song? It's the wildest shit.
Travis Barker, you could say what you want about his overplaying. He can make any beat fit anywhere. He's so good at playing that he makes the people he plays with sound wrong instead of him sounding wrong. Like, I will say that.
Yep.
He
Kings of the Weekend, that was also almost cut.
They almost cut a lot of things.
In my notes, I wrote probably should have. I wasn't a fan of this song. I didn't even write any notes for Teenage Satellites.
Also, you just wrote the title, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Team Age, too. You misspelled it. You really didn't give a shit about this song.
I really didn't. I didn't even have time to spell check it, so I don't care. Mm-hmm. Left Alone, also almost cut, but Matt's chorus, they liked it, which he flies in that chorus. Yeah. That was when he's showing some of his pipes.
Dude, he was impressive, man. He was really impressive vocally on the entire album.
Yeah. Rabbit Hole, I think that was like the second song. I think they put that like a lyric album or a lyric video out for Rabbit Hole. Another one I remember going back and forth with you, discussing.
God, that album! Oh my man, we were like little girls.
Every week a new song would come out. Be like, wait, did you hear it? Did you hear it? What do you think? I heard rumblings.
The Skiba is rumbling. He's like a graboid.
Yep. Tremors. And then San Diego. Here's the song that Mark didn't want to write. This is the one where Feldman was like, you're going to go in a goddamn room and you're going to go be a little sad boy and you're going to write about Tom and go write a goddamn song. And he didn't want to, but he did. And this is the song that came out. And he talks about San Diego because Tom still lives in San Diego. Everybody else kind of moved away and moved on. Tom went right back, and now he just rides motorcycles and captures aliens in San Diego.
Do you think he's gotten one? I think he's gotten one.
We'll get that. I've watched a lot of videos recently. I was texting you yesterday about watching all the unidentified shows, and I watching like unsolved mysteries about stuff, and I was falling down a rabbit hole again about all these Navy sightings and stuff.
I was going deep.
I went too deep.
But you have Bohemian Rhapsody is also here, and we already touched on the joke songs. It was just not needed. It
had like the best guitar hook on the whole album, and they just said, "Nope, you get 30 seconds, and then that's it." And I was just like, that could have been an awesome song if you had just if Feldman would have given more than a day.
Yeah.
Like, good God.
But like even if they just made an instrumental, it had some different lyrics. You know what? Fuck it, that would have been fun too.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And then that's the main album. Everything else, there's an extended album which is essentially a whole nother album. Mm-hmm. Parking Lot, it's fine. That's one of the songs where I'm like, I think he's writing it as a child, or them, both of them. I don't know. It was whatever. It was a perfect deluxe version song. It's a good bonus song.
Yeah.
Misery, I liked. It was a little darker, right. A little more experimental. Good Old Days. I love this song. I found on the internet everybody hates this song. I don't know if you know it off the top of your head, but it's kind of dancey. Honestly, it's a 4 on the floor. Reminded me a lot of just the song we wrote, and so I was just like, I like this song, and I don't care that Reddit disagrees.
Reddit hates a lot of shit though, so it's hard to take what they say truly to heart. I don't mind that song, but again, like they do some of those dancey songs pretty good. Like again, going back to Neighborhoods, Ghost on the Dance Floor, man, you can bop around to that song real good.
Oh yeah, and they know how to get the butts moving.
They do. They know how to get the heinies moving. They know how to get the aliens to pay attention with their music. Too bad Tom doesn't have that power anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Because the aliens, they don't listen to Angels and Airwaves. They're not into indie music. Anyway.
Let's see. So let's skip ahead a couple songs. Last Train Home. I think this might be my favorite song. I really like this one. I never like remember lyrics, and I actually remembered like the lyrics to this song pretty early on, and it was a good one. And again, it was a total Matt song, and just I don't know. I thought he did a really good job, and I was pissed that it was only on the deluxe. I thought it should have been on the main album because I thought it was a really good stage, a really good platform to show him off.
Right. Wildfire you have here, and I forgot to touch on this. You have a lot of songs listed as do songs. Elaborate on that just a little bit, if you could, for the viewers at home.
So I have some stats at the end, but basically a do song for Blink. They have this habit of using like three notes in a song. So you got like do 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 do. Now I'm trying to remember them off the top of my head, or really like do 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 do. There's two songs back to back on this album where it's just do 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 do.
That's the single
at different octaves.
What was it? No, She's Out of Her Mind is one, and then what was it? Bored to Death is one. Like that. I think is that the two in a row right there?
That wasn't even the two in a row. It might be on nine as well. Dude, there's. So I mean, I can give you the stats right now. Just
let's do it.
So I went through and listened to every single Blink song in a row and tried to find how many songs do some sort of variation of like do, whether it's do, just all that stuff. There are 18 altogether. 12 of them are on California and 9, and if you go through, you'll hear it, and I think that probably has a lot to do with the writing style, because if you've ever tried to like write 3 songs quickly, 5 songs pretty quick, they'll sound kind of similar. Yeah. And even though like all 3 of them might sound good, they'll have similar parts. But yeah, actually I think on Neighborhoods was like the first album. I don't think I found any. And I was like, oh my God. But then like the earlier you get, the more simpler they got.
Right.
That's how you kind of hear it. And like, I don't even think I counted Damn It, because Damn It, it's like do. Yeah. I didn't count Damn It.
No, that's its own kind of riff. Like that's a special buddy. It's a special friend.
But yeah, like there's a bunch of them. I should have written down all the songs that did it. I just was going through like next, listen to all the intros. And there was Wildfire is do. So yeah.
Yes, and
it's just.
And again, jumping forward a little bit, they had another fucking joke song. And they brought it to 3. Like they dropped the gimmick for 15 years, and then they give you fucking 3. Can't get you more pregnant.
Right. I forgot about that. I wrote the note. I already forgot about that song.
Yeah, you said you hated it less than Bohemian Rhapsody, which isn't saying much.
Guess what?
Well, you said you didn't hate it as much as Bohemian Rhapsody, and I can't blame you. Like it's it's a little better.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think they threw away a good riff. I was like, all right, no, that was just that song. Bohemian Rhapsody was just such a good riff.
Uh-huh.
And, oh my God, the song 6-8. I love this song, and it is definitely deserves to be on the bonus album deluxe part. Like it was not meant for primetime Blink. It is such a wild. I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, holy shit!
It's a deep cut. It's a deep cut.
And there's lots of rumors that so Matt Skiba screams a bunch of phrases and stuff during this, such as this song needs some fucking personality. Anybody, somebody, give me some fucking personality. What happened to personality? And the rumors are that this is shit Tom used to yell like when he was in the studio and frustrated.
Give me
And
some
like,
personality.
yeah, there's a bunch of lines, but that was a taste of them. But
Asshole.
yeah, did you used to yell about that? So I was just like, ooh, I hope that's true.
But overall, California, in my mind, is almost like completing a trilogy from Enema, The State, to Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, and then jumping past everything else to California. Those three together, man, they feel like they have their own sound. And I stood by that it almost seems like this is a direct sequel to Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. My theme of albums that are sequels to each other. But this is, I guess, my own conspiracy theory. Sort of.
No, I'd rope those three together. That's a pretty good trilogy. Yeah, because when you look at everything else is a lot. It's just wildly different stuff. So, and like Enema, Take Off Your Pants, they were all fun albums, with the exception of like a sad song here and there, but
they were light. They were lighter.
Very, very colorful,
Yeah. And I would put together, self-titled Neighborhoods and Dogs Eating Dogs. That had like a sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that. But overall, I loved California. I thought it was a really good effort. I thought they deserved to go number one. That made me very happy that they went number one. It's like it's just nice to see a band that you supported when they were a little bit bigger. When they were a little smaller, as they kind of rose through the ranks of pop culture. Get a big win like that, especially after so many years of bullshit with their insane guitar player. And we're getting there. Close. We're close, guys. We're close. I've told you this is a Tale of Two Podcasts.
It was funny. I was actually really surprised that they didn't get a nomination for Untitled. I completely forgot about that until I was doing this research. And I remember I was just like, how did that not get one? That was such a good album.
I think the times. And I also think that album was less palatable to pop culture. You gotta think Grammys don't go to fucking brilliant albums. I mean, now they do. Look, I don't want to say that. That makes me sound like a fucking douche. You know what I'm trying to communicate? It doesn't go to those deep cut. And blink-182, the self-titled wasn't exactly deep cut. It was in the mind of pop culture, but songs like Violence and Stockholm Syndrome and, the song I always mispronounce, Astemdlabanya, about space. Estenia. Thank you for the 20th time. But those songs, they were
song.
Yeah, space song.
Tom's space song.
Tom's sad space song. Absolutely. The literal
love.
The literal precursor to Angels and Airwaves was that song, Asthenia. I did it. But those songs weren't very much in the minds of, people in pop culture. Or hip on pop culture. You catch my drift.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what was going on then. Was it 04?
03.
No.
03, 04. No, 03. It was 03. I don't know, man. Like, Andrew WK was around. Like, it was still... Pop punk was dead. Like, Andrew WK was on it, man. Oh, I miss his brief run in the fucking sun.
He's still around. I saw him do his talking tour where we went to
that's awesome.
What's up with Soundstage? We went to Baltimore Soundstage and we saw him, and he did like a whole talking thing, and then he did some songs, and it was amazing.
One man band style, right? Was this when he couldn't play with a band?
Yeah.
Legally, he wasn't allowed to play with a band, or I know it was something.
This might have been, yeah. Maybe it was. I actually didn't even question that he wasn't with the band because he's so over the top hyped at all times. So I was just like, this guy, he's just doing his thing. I saw him perform in a wheelchair on like Conan or something like that, and it was the most amazing show I've ever seen. I was like, I could watch him perform in a wheelchair all day. It was great.
Side episode, we'll do a 0.5, 11.5 Andrew WK in a wheelchair. The Chronicles. But I could see why it didn't get a nomination, but I could see now why California did. Again, the old adage, I'm stealing from Mr. Jim Cornette, all roads lead back to my wrestling fandom. How can they miss you if you don't go away? And Blink-182 went away. And even when Neighborhoods came out, honestly, looking back now, it still feels like they were away. It feels like that period of time was almost kind of lost, and it was almost just this weird, pseudo-motivated reunion. And I'm not saying they did a bad job, but it just... When you get
They
something...
do a great job.
Yeah, exactly. When you get something as refreshing as California, and when you get a fucking guy as refreshing as Matt Skiba, that you start to wonder, like, okay, this is what it could have been. If Tom DeLonge was really all in, if he really wasn't worried about fucking rocket ships and motorcycles and Angels and Airwaves, because we all know he cared way more about Angels and Airwaves than Blink-182. That's so obvious. Love. That fucking intro to that fucking documentary.
Oh, you watched it. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm so very happy that you watched it.
The most self-indulgent fucking what? This is a bad documentary.
Spent all their money on the intro.
All of it. They just
filmed
blew
the rest on GoPros.
It's like when Blink-182 did the music video where they just fucking rained money. It's just that had to have been Tom's idea now. Now it makes sense. He just blows money.
It's even because I'm pretty sure it was what's the Star Wars guy? Is ILM? What I'm thinking of?
What?
Who did the intro? And I was just thinking, I was just like, oh man, like who did they give that task to? You think they're like, well, we could be working on the new, I don't even remember what year it was. Like, we'll just say like all these artists are like, oh, we could be working on the new Star Wars, working on these graphics, all this stuff. And they're like, nah, you get Tom DeLonge. Fuck. He's making a bandumentary, and he needs you to come up with an intro. Look, he's got, I don't know, there's space, and there's soldiers, and they go,
he paid us $500,000. You're doing the fucking project. I know you wanted to work on Monsters University, but shut the fuck up. All right.
Who's the director of South Park? Always makes fun of him for the Transformers guy.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay directed the intro to that. Was it Start the Machine?
I'm having too much fun. We've gotten far off topic, but it's worth it. Okay, this is what it's all about. I can't wait to get into the Tom shit. That's why I'm glad 9 is so average, because I don't have a lot of shit to say about it.
I mean, you saw my notes.
Yeah, it really is. Let's touch on it real quick, and then we'll dive in. And you know what? I'm being a little facetious. I didn't mind 9. It seems like they kind of, like you had mentioned to me earlier, we were talking before, they had a shit ton of writers. It seems like they were going for that Fall Out Boy sellout bullshit, but the diet version. They didn't go all the way, but I feel like they wanted to flirt with being pop artists in this album.
Oh yeah. Good God. Yeah. How many? 21 writers on this album. 21.
What?
Good God. Go look at their old albums. It's just Travis isn't even like credited in some of them. No. It's just Mark and Tom, and that's it.
Travis, you're not allowed.
Yeah. Well, I think in one of was Enema, he wasn't allowed. He was still a drummer for hire.
Right.
But yeah. So 9. I actually listened to it more after I did all these notes. My first note for 9 is that I've tried a lot and I couldn't listen to it.
Holy shit, dude! The fucking, and I'm sorry, like no, and this ties in with not being able to fucking listen. I have pulled up the writer list. I'm looking at it.
Yes.
Why would you do that? All right, maybe it was fun. Maybe they went for something, like kind of get to to do something a little different.
I don't need it on every song.
Yeah, no, I don't want it on every song. I'm trying to think. Here's how many songs were written with a guest writer, and we're not going to call was it Count Feldman, because you know what I mean.
No, I didn't count Feldman.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. of the 15 songs were written with guest writers.
Right.
You know?
That's a lot.
I mean, I don't want to question the process, but like, if it ain't broke, when you put out something as cool as California, why are you trying to fix it? Why are you being silly?
It's like, look, I didn't necessarily need Feldman to have his hand so deep into the Blink pocket, but now that we got 9, I'm like, you know what? Can we go back to just Feldman again? Like,
Yeah. Because I really, it makes you appreciate California even more. And again, I think I loved California when it came out. With time, I became attached to it. I got to really absorb it, and the songs began to, have more meaning to me.
Mm-hmm.
9, I don't ever think that's going to happen. Again, let's dive into it real quick. Not much to say about it. Happy Days is a decent song. You know what I mean? It's a fun little single. I like it. It's got a fun hook. I like
the video.
Yeah.
I like the video they did for it, where it was like during COVID and everybody sent in all their videos and they chopped it together. It was like perfect. It was a Happy Day song and everybody doing happy stuff. Matt Skiba didn't even touch his fucking guitar in the whole video. It was hilarious. I think he was like spray painting shit the whole time. You have Mark like faking bass, and you have Travis playing the drums, and Matt's just like, fuck instruments, I'm fucking that fucking Skiba.
Well, hey, bonus for the folks. So we're gonna do a little, after we finish the podcast, we're gonna stop the recording. We're gonna do a little bonus segment where I'm gonna react to a couple of music videos with Tyler that I haven't seen yet.
Specifically Dark Side.
Yes, I'm ready for this. I'll make sure that'll go up on the Kilgo92 YouTube channel, where all of these episodes go up. And subscribe to Kilgo TV while you're at it. The new video channel I'm working on. Do you like that mid-show plug?
That was very nice.
Mine's very smooth.
Oh, I forgot that I promised. Greg had the idea of reading the book as a recording. Maybe I'll do that later as another bonus thing.
I'm absolutely down for that. That's what we're all about here. I got hair in my mouth. I need to shave. I look like shit. Anyway, you forget that you come on camera. I also have a weird camera angle. I'm sure your partner Callie she wants to kill me right now because you have a very nice one. And I have my area here's all wonky. But moving forward, 9, average album. I give it a C, and I don't have much else to say about it. You better?
I went through all the songs. I really like the song Dark Side. I don't even remember the intro to the album, but I liked the intro song for the intro. Literally just the intro of the very first song, and then the rest of it I could give a shit about. Blame It on My Youth, again. I go back and forth on whether I even like this song. Generational Divide. I like this. Honest lyrics, but it was too short of a song. They always leave me wanting more.
No. 49 seconds. Why do you do that?
I really wish I hated you. That song. My note is I hate this song. and there's a version with Miley Cyrus out there somewhere. I tried to find it. I didn't find it.
So was it actually released, or is it like it was recorded and they're like, you know what?
Yeah. I guess they had a bunch of people do a bunch of weird stuff, and then they just went through like, nah, never mind. Pin the Grenade has been my favorite song off this album recently. Has been stuck in my head. That and Ransom. Mm-hmm. Ransom was really cool too. Dude. Again, leave me wanting more, but it was a really good song.
I love your note for Hungover You. It's like, is this a hit song on DC 101 yet? Fucking
dude,
shots fired.
Have you listened to this song?
Yeah, it would be good on DC 101. To be played for 20 years.
Who's the redhead guy who made like a weird rap song recently?
Ed Sheeran?
Yeah, okay. Yes, Ed Sheeran. Jesus. I was like, sounds like it would have been an Ed Sheeran song.
I sung Ed Sheeran to my wife at the wedding. You remember that?
I do. It was adorable, and I cried every second.
Side episode. We'll do a hidden. You know what? Like I'm opening a Patreon Monday. You're gonna have to pay for that shit. I want to do an episode. I want to do a podcast on my wedding. You gotta admit, we put on a lovely show for everyone. It was a lovely display with barbecue.
It was a good ship. I love barbecue.
Yes,
it was perfect.
It was a barbecue. That was yes. Oh, anyway, sidetracked. 9, I think we're done, man. I think we're ready to close the chapter on what Skiba 182 is. And overall, I'm excited. They're not old men. They're really not. There's a lot of life left in this group. Just because 9 is okay at best, California is pretty fucking ripping. And I think they'll come back with something really good. Like, Mark Hoppus is only 48 years old. That's not that fucking old. You know, Travis Barker is 44. Not that old. Matt Skiba, he's 44 as well. Not that old. I'm excited.
Man, I didn't realize he was 44. I thought he was actually younger. I thought he was a baby.
I'm sure they have 10, 15 years of full-time music left in them. Honestly.
Oh, yeah.
An album every 2 or 3 years. Honestly, it would be its own era of the band. And I think that's going to happen. I am excited for Skiba 182. Time for the graphic to take over the screen. Skiba 182.
I don't think I get to. Do I get to see?
I'm sorry. I don't have screen share on. I'll show you in the recording.
It's okay. It's fine.
We'll get there.
I assume it's the Skiba 182.
Oh, dude, it got pretty. It got pretty intense for a minute. Again, video viewers, you should be checking this out on the Kilgo 92 channel, and subscribe to Kilgo TV as well. This is the end of the first half of the podcast, so let's take a minute. Let's breathe.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, good. No, go ahead.
I have one more graphic that I sent you where you asked if I was okay.
Yep, I'll pull it up.
So.
I'll turn screen share on for you.
So I was going to make a graph, but somebody on Reddit did it for me, and it was hilarious. So I just grabbed it and brought it over. But it's along with the do-do-dos. I wanted to figure out how many times they have used the words "she said," because a running joke with Blink is that, I don't know what Mark did, but she has sure said a lot to him, because both him and Tom wrote a lot of "she said." I believe there are 20 times they used the word "she said."
20.
I think that was 20. How many I counted.
18. Excuse me, but 18. Well, you said it's 18 altogether, but it's also 12 on 2 albums.
Oh no, that's the do-do-dos.
Oh no, never mind. So, no, I'm sorry. So the she said is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Oh, 21. There you go. So a lot of times. Examples: shut the fuck up, she said. Get the fuck up, she said. You're just a fuck up, she said.
I'll write you once a week, she said. It stopped being fun, she said.
She said, no, I'm not all right.
This pie chart's fucking killing me. Like, they did the math.
She said tonight's a waste of time. She said that it's too late to try. It was, I was going through just cracking up. It's like, I'm so happy somebody else also needed to know the numbers,
Yes, they did the work for us on that one. We really appreciate that.
Blink by the numbers.
Blink by the numbers. And it's over. Now we're ready. We're closing the chapter. So we have completed this. I feel like right now, this is the completion of the Blink-182 history that we've been covering for the last 3 months, and I'm proud of it, okay? What comes next is an epilogue. A powerful, powerful epilogue. So again, I'll take a short break to plug a couple of the things here. So I'm Alex. This is Tyler. We're podcast partners for life. He signed a blood contract he is not aware of yet, but he is now. You can catch me doing fun things on twitch.tv/Kilgo90. Kilgo TV. Twitch.tv/Kilgo TV. That's the name of the other channel. There really isn't a main or a second channel. Kilgo92 and Kilgo TV are just different. Kilgo92 is my streams, video game clips, and podcast stuff. Kilgo TV is my more organized videos that Tyler has seen. Tyler liked my freshman YouTube video about Metal Gear Solid.
That was very nice.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And go to my Twitter, @KilgoTV. That's where I kind of just talk shit, tweet at wrestlers and celebrities. Very nice things though. I tweet fun, nice things. You know, I'm no troll. Tyler, anything to plug, or are you just feeling the love right now? You lonely little astronaut, you.
I don't do anything else.
This is what you do. You do this with me.
So,
yes.
So this is it, you know?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we are going to, I want to announce real quick. I want to announce the announcement. Okay. At the end of this episode, we will be announcing season 2 of this little endeavor. And the next thing we're going to be deep diving into.
I'm excited.
Before I say that, though, I do want to bring up things we've brought up to each other, and there's 2 in particular. First is NoFX. Please, nobody suggest that. We know. We've talked about it. We got to make a plan. That might be season 8 or 9. Seriously, don't ever suggest it.
Much.
Yeah, don't suggest it. We know. And the same applies to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The Red Hot Chili Peppers and NoFX have the same rule. Well, we will get there. I promise. Don't expect it anytime soon. Let us grow a little bit. We're not ready. Green Day. Chris Granke, Grunks, a guy we both worked with, is a fan of the show. Super nice guy. He requested Green Day. We will do that as well. And we'll try to do that sooner than the other ones.
I feel like that one's less of a monolith than the other 2 bands.
Yeah, not even because it is. It really is, because there's just a lot less fuckery with Green Day. And that is a testament to Green Day. That is not an insult in any way, shape, or form. Truly.
Also, I feel like you can just breeze through like the last 5 albums.
Absolutely. But we will be announcing our season 2 topic at the end of this. But moving on, the epilogue of our dive into blink-182. It's ironic that it is also a dive into the madness that is Tom DeLonge's brain over the last 5 years. At least publicly. I feel like he's always been like this, but now we know.
Yes. So I'm just looking over my notes. So, Tom DeLonge. We were going to cover some of this in the last one, so some of it's not going to necessarily... I'm not going to really focus on like what year everything happened. I'll kind of just...
This happened between pretty much 2014-ish to now. We're covering 6 years of time. That's been very consistent. His behavior has been very consistent.
Some of it's even earlier. Like my very first note. So this is in 2011, but you got to kind of have to hit this because this is the beginning of Tom moving in the direction he went into. Mm-hmm. So he started a website called Strange Times, and this was supposed to be kind of a catch-all website where they just talked about conspiracies, aliens, cryptozoology, paranormal activity, and people could send in videos, and there would be like a database, and they would just get all this information and put it all together in one spot. This obviously evolved into To the Stars and then To the Stars Academy, which we'll get to that in a second. But I think this is what his first baby was. If you go to the website now, it's super weird. It is just he made a movie or show. He pitched a show called Strange Times. So he essentially took what he already had and he was like, well, I already have the name, I guess. Let me just fucking rebrand this shit.
Mm-hmm. I will say it's a cool name. Side note, like that's a cool. Actually, that's pretty clever. And I'd watch a show called Strange Times.
So is the name Stranger Things, and
well, he had it first. He had it first.
Actually, you know what? What year was the show?
Not 2011 or 10. They're like 2015, 14.
No. What time? When he came out with the Stranger Times show? I think it might have been. You look that up. It might have been after, but it's the same plot, basically. So the tagline for the show is "Nothing motivates 5 asshole classmates to band together like a hot girl, even if she's dead." So it's like, I guess it's 5. Whereas Stranger Things is like a bunch of boys and like this girl who was experimented on by the government. Strange Times is like a ghost girl and 5 boys.
I have just pulled up the Wikipedia page for the 288 science fiction young adult novel created by Tom DeLonge called Strange Times, The Ghost and the Girl.
Yep. And if you go to the website, there's like they took Super Mario and they turned it into this game. It's like a weird, you can play it's not Super Mario, it's just called Strange Times, but it's just the very first Super Mario game, but with the characters from Strange Times.
I love it.
And you can buy the book.
I love everything about it.
I read the tagline. I was like, sold, all in. I don't need to hear anymore. Obviously, I want this in my life.
Do you have a copy yet, or does that come up next?
I don't have a copy yet. I did try to watch it online, and then I could only find like previews and stuff, and I didn't dive super hard into it. But
right.
when I was looking at the website, I was like, "What is this? What am I looking at?"
Oh man. So continue on. So like the seeds are planted with the Strange Times kind of site and the catch-all with all just essentially it's essentially the conspiracy subreddit, which is
and
a little scary.
Everybody was ripping on them. And I found a ton of articles from 2011 ripping on Tom for starting this site and making fun of him. And it is awesome that many years later shit changes. So we got that going on. Now remember, his whole thing with Angels Airwaves is that it's a multimedia project. So he wants movies and books and then the albums. So around this time he does Love Part 1 and Part 2 and a movie called Love. I watched this movie. It's a movie. Yeah, you know what? He spent money on it, and he made it, and he put it out.
Of all the movies you've ever seen, it's a movie. It's one of them.
It's a movie for sure. The albums were that bad. They had a bunch of songs on them that I really liked. But yeah. This is also Adam Willard left at this point. And he gets replaced with was it Elon Rubin? I think I pronounced his name right.
I think that's the only guy who's left.
Nails.
Right?
Do what?
He's the only guy who's left in Angels and Airwaves, if I'm not mistaken.
There was another guitar player that left, got kicked out.
David Kennedy. He's back though.
Yeah, well, so David Kennedy left to go open up like a coffee shop or something for a year, but he came back. But there was another guitar player, I believe. I forget his name off the top of my head, and he left.
Eddie Breckenridge.
Yeah, and there's some weird stuff there, and I don't know. He came out on Reddit or online and posted a bunch of stuff. And
or was that Ryan Sin who was the bass player?
Oh,
it was Ryan Sin.
Never mind, it was Ryan Sin.
It was Ryan Sin.
Yep, from
Distillers.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, so he left. And let's see. So I found some reviews because I'm not going to go into like the songs on the albums or whatever. Like, if you like the band, you listen to the band.
Yeah. But this isn't an Angels and Airwaves deep dive, but you get it.
It's a thing. But I just want to. So one of the reviews from Rolling Stone, a 1.5-star review stating that the album soared even closer to the sun with defiant nonsense, and continued to state that the album sounded exultant. There's nothing here to be triumphant about. I love trash talk reviewers. They are some of the funniest things.
But especially very clever too. Like very, very, very clever with it.
I feel like it's a special talent to shit on a band and be impressed. Like just like
and putting yourself above it too. So high above it.
This note is strictly for you. The song "Surrender" was supposed to be used by the WWE for a pay-per-view.
Really?
But it never got used.
Well, that's how Vince probably was like, "Well, what the fuck is this Angels and Airwaves shit? Who goes to space?
This isn't triumphant.
Get me my steak wrap, Shane."
So the movie, I wish I could tell you the entire plot. Honestly, it's I don't know. It jumps around from like the Civil War to a man abandoned in space who watches the planet fall to shit. It was made for like $500,000. And the guy, so there's photos of the prop sets. So they were going to rent a space station from somebody, but I guess they made one instead. So this guy made the Civil War set in his backyard with his mom, and then he made the space station in his driveway.
No, he
out of
really
like
did. No fucking
and
what?
and if you actually watch the movie and look around at all the props and stuff, you could see shit that you just get at like Home Depot, and it's awesome. Just like, oh yep, there's a little vent, a dryer vent line. Okay, all right, we got, and it's just funny, like just looking at it. Yeah, like I said, I watched it. It's here, yeah. Sorry, I do have a description of the movie. Love portrays the personal psychological effects of isolation and loneliness when an astronaut becomes stranded in space, and through this emphasizes the importance of human connection and love. It touches on the fragility of humanity's existence, inspired by the cautions of Carl Sagan in Pale Blue Dot, and considers the importance of memories and stories in humanity's legacy.
Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Who the fuck wrote that?
Tom, I guess. I'm pretty sure. Like it's
So that's not a review. That's a description. That's like if you were flipping through the channels at night. That's what would be on the
I believe I
bios
pulled that off of Wikipedia as well. Here's a review. I don't even remember what it is. I'm going to read it. Okay, I must have put it on there because it was funny. So, love can at times get very broad with scenes, dialogue, and flow. If you're keen on clarity and the linear, love is going to leave you very frustrated. For others, however, the challenge of understanding what it may lead to desire for repeat viewings, which for me is a lot of fun. This is a film that's not clearly for everybody. There's a lot to offer the Inception and Moon crowds. So basically, just like, look, if you love a movie that makes sense, this is not for you. Take some drugs, come watch it, take it as it is. It won awards.
What?
This won awards in film festivals. Yep. And I actually really liked what they did. So they did like a whole, I think they might have been one of the first people to do this. So they got together 480 movie theaters, and they did a live screening of the movie all at once. And there was like a 4-part thing. So they did like character studies of the films they played before the film. They did like an intro and welcoming from Tom and the other writer. They did a Q&A, and then they premiered the music video for Anxiety, which is, I love the song. Oh, I don't know what these dudes just suck at making music videos now. And then a 3-song performance live from Angels and Airwaves after the movie.
And it shouldn't be lost.
Really cool.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be lost on us. Sorry to cut you off, but real quick. Angels and Airwaves, we actually don't. The consensus, amongst me and you is that the music's all right. Like, it's actually pretty good. I don't mind Angels and Airwaves. We like to rip on them because they are fucking insane and ridiculous. But the music itself is pretty good and driven and great choruses and very catchy. But I just want to interject that real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no.
You and your love.
Yeah, it's like, I do this. Because it's like, it's like people ripping on your hometown. Like, you don't get to rip on my hometown, only I do.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going to rip on that a bunch, but I'm still going to, oh my God, at the end of the year when Spotify gives you your, like, top played bands and stuff, mine was Angels and Airwaves for last year. I was like, oh my God, I listened to it too much. It was because they came out with a bunch of good songs, but, and then, they came out with, like, weird remix of the album where it was super weird. They like just half stepped down all the songs, and then if they were a slow song, they made it fast. If it was a fast song, they made it slow and just added like crazy amount of electronics. I think my note is ABC, always be contenting, because that's the only thing you can assume why they did this.
Just fucking around. Like, but I also can respect, like, let's put out our serious work, but in between, like, hey, you guys want to fuck around, like, and put it out and make money off of it. Like, we can fuck around and make money. People bought that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People bought it. Mm-hmm. It's always be releasing. Hey, I'll give Tom credit. This dude is always releasing something.
Yeah.
It might not always be music, but this dude pumps out. I mean, that's all these notes is all the crap he just pumps out over like the span of a decade. Next album's Dreamwalker. This is when Kennedy takes a break to go start a coffee shop. This is just Tom and Elon, but it was actually part of like it was a movie, and so the album was essentially just a soundtrack to the movie. So I did not watch the movie. I wanted to. I didn't get there.
Right. And I will really quickly shout out the name of the coffee shop was James Coffee Company, a San Diego-based coffee house, which he's a part owner, that specializes in producing handcrafted artisan roasted coffee beans. So I'm going to give him a shout out. Good for you. Go check it out whenever the COVID shit's over.
All right, so then now we're hitting kind of like 2014, 2015. This is when To the Stars starts. Now, originally, it was just supposed to be an entertainment company and a record label for Angels and Airwaves. But obviously, it transforms into a much larger multimedia thing where he started putting out all of his books and movies and music out on the same thing, because this is 2015's the breakup of Blink. So he actually ends up putting out he leaves Blink and almost immediately puts out an album. This is why, like, so Tom does a lot of interviews where he talks about the guys in Blink were upset that he couldn't commit to all this stuff and he left. And he says that, well, you know, I couldn't tell them all the things that were going on at the time. You know, I couldn't talk about all the secret government stuff I was working on, stuff like that. You know, he was like, I felt bad and I left. But then it's shit like this that makes me think, nah, man, you're kind of a dick too.
Yeah.
Because he almost immediately puts out an album of demos, odds, and it's To the Stars demos, odds and ends. And it was supposed to be all songs that, or some of them that were going to be on the Blink album. So it's just like, all right, man, if you weren't trying to be a complete dick, you wouldn't have put this out.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
And actually, while you were talking, I was able to pull up the page for it. I'm seeing a couple reviews here. Metacritic, a 49 out of 100. All Music was nicer. They give it a 3 out of 5. Rolling Stone, 2 out of 5. Consequence of Sound, a D. And punknews.org, 2 out of 5. And a quick little note here. Stephen Thomas of All Music, he said he considered the album transitional, writing, To the Stars does not feel like a solo album, but it does also feel a bit like a warehouse, a way to clear the decks as he preps for the next great project. And I can kind of understand that, but still, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And well, he only put out the one. He said he was going to do another solo album, too.
Yeah.
In the same year.
Mark Hoppus has still not done the solo album that he apparently was or has been working on for a while. That would be neat to see. I'd love to see that.
I feel like he completely scrapped that. Yeah, he's started a bunch of stuff and then just didn't.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else did he do? All right. So he puts out The Lonely Astronaut. Which
Where'd you get that?
Which,
Amazon?
Yeah. Well, I've had this. I didn't just buy this.
Oh,
I bought this years ago when Andrew was little. Because I was like, I needed children's books to read to him. And, well, if I'm going to read a children's book, I want children's books I want to read. Mm-hmm. So I bought one about aliens.
Hey, if we reach 1,000 subscribers, will you get that tattooed on your body?
The Lonely Astronaut?
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, I already have a bad astronaut. Of course I would add the Lonely Astronaut.
1,000.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
All right. Let's put a proclamation out here. I'll make sure to clip this. 1,000 subscribers to either Kilgo92 or Kilgo TV or the SoundCloud or the podcast. Wherever we hit 1,000 subscribers first, Tyler will get that tattooed on his body. We hit 2,000, I'll get it tattooed on my body. How about that?
Well, it's funny. I've never noticed this. So here's what the book cover is.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my tattoo.
The bad astronaut for the YouTube viewers.
But I actually never realized that was almost the same photo. That's funny.
Well, hey. My webcam fell. I'm alive. Fuck. Keep going. The show must go on.
Right, well, Lonely Astronaut came out,
Right.
and then he puts out. So Poet Anderson is a character he kind of came up with, and he does a lot of stuff with this character. Very Blade Runner, Clockwork Orange, anime kind of stuff. And he puts out a movie for that, and at the same, this is the Dreamwalker album he puts out. He puts out a Poet Anderson 3-part comic series in April. In April. So this is all like 2015. He releases a Poet Anderson of Nightmares novel in October 2015.
Jesus.
With accompanying. And then he did like the Stars demo. He had a very interesting breakup with Blink. Like he did a lot of stuff in just a matter of a year. And then, so we got Nightmares. Let's see. And 2015. So he starts doing interviews where he keeps talking about going back to Blink, and that stirs up so many rumors and all this hilarious back and forth. And whatever you need, just ask Allie.
Yo, that prevented us from doing this last night, though. Do you remember? All right, so I'll get into that at the end in the bonus content. But, dude, if anybody understands.
Did you completely break your camera? I got a
No.
nice bright orange screen. Oh, hey, whoa, there we go.
I had to do a little bit of See, you see what I had to do now? I had to do a little bit of finagling.
Oh, like now I can see everything. Look at this Skiba 182. Oh, it's cute. It's adorable. So let's see. So what else he did? Let's see. I have an interview stacked from him. All right, so I'm going to read this interview. Don't remember what it says. So, Tom, I don't mind anything. I want people to be happy. Myself and those guys were a very specific thing. If they want to go off, this is about Skiba. If they want to go off and play the songs I wrote because that's what they want to do and that makes them happy and they want to make a living, that's cool. It's not like it makes me extraordinarily jealous. I feel like I have to be on stage with them, and I feel like I have to be on stage with them. They're not wired that way. It wouldn't have bothered me if they called me up and said, hey, if you're really busy, do you mind if we go out and do some of these things? I would have said, hell yeah, go for it. But it just didn't go down that way. So that was him talking about the Blink breakup.
Bitter boy.
Let's see. Other things Tom did. He discussed having a Cirque du Soleil show. I don't know. I couldn't find any more details about that, but he was supposed to team up with Cirque du Soleil to do something.
I'm guessing it did not happen?
No, it did not. That made me very sad. I would have went to go see this show.
What about the meetings with the staffers from Area 51? We can.
So he starts. This is when during this time period, which he claims is the reason he had to leave Blink, is because he starts meeting all of these. He loves saying high-ranking government officials. It's possibly his top phrase he says in every interview right now.
High-ranking government officials. Just
multi-star generals.
Catch-all.
And alphabet boys, stuff like that. FBI, CIA.
ATF. WWE.
Yeah, just...
UFC.
UFC, NRA. Yeah. So this is when he starts meeting with all these people, and it's funny if everybody remembers the Hillary Clinton email scandal.
Tom. I mean, not Tom. you can tell how often me and Tom have those conversations. But Tyler, her emails, man. Her emails.
Look, well, they recovered some of them, and guess who popped up in them?
No.
Mr. Tom DeLonge himself.
Shut the fuck
up in the email dump.
Direct correspondence to Hillary Clinton?
That was unclear. I don't even think they ever said that. They just said emails involving Tom DeLonge were in there. But I mean, she's been in charge of shit. So, and if he's talking to all of these high-ranking officials and all this stuff, Yeah, I said he talked to a very famous astronaut who he filmed for a documentary. I actually didn't figure out who that was.
Buzz Aldrin, of
Um,
course.
I hope so. Have you ever watched that dude give interviews?
Yeah,
He
he's a fucking. Ooh.
he's an American treasure. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. I if he talked about like if people go up to him and ask him if like the moon landing is real, he's like, I'll fucking sock him in the
He
goddamn
did.
face.
He hit a guy. He hit a guy in public for like.
Oh, I
getting his
forgot
face-
about that.
Yeah, he fucked a guy
Oh my
up.
god.
Buzz Aldrin is still not to be fucked with. He's got that old man Danny Hodge strength. Like, I wouldn't fight Buzz Aldrin. Fuck no, he'd beat the shit out of me.
Oh yeah. Let's see. So, yeah. So basically, he's talking to all these secret people, and I just watched an interview the other day where they asked him about all this stuff, and there he is. There's our boy.
Yeah, there he is. You can tell I'm looking through a couple of pages right now.
Yeah, and so he he starts hooking up with the government, and basically he pitches them this idea that he's like, look, the government has all these secrets, and we have all these incidents. Like, it's like thousands and thousands and thousands of people have all of these occurrences. It's like, you can't say that nothing's like, you can't tell us that it's not true. It's like, there's too many people in the world who can corroborate stories and have had similar instances. And he's like, he's like, what if I use me as a conduit to start bringing the public into this? Because Tom even says in the beginning to the Stars Academy, and he wanted to start doing this with the government. He even said that, like, at the beginning I was like, fuck this, the government owes us, like, tell everybody, tell the secrets. And when he does interviews now, he's way more cautious. He's like, no, I completely understand why the government hasn't said everything, or hasn't really said anything, because he's like, because the second they do, it's out. They don't have smaller control of it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, we're going to start getting public congressional hearings. He's like, and you see how that goes with everything else. He's like, it's going to turn into a shit show. And if they don't even know what they're dealing with, why the hell would they want to go to Congress and go into public and all this stuff? Because I don't know, he's very cryptic with how he talks.
High-ranking government officials, man.
Oh yeah,
this seems like a good opportunity. Real quick, to speaking of cryptic, the Joe Rogan interview, the infamous Tom DeLonge appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience, in which he is openly mocked and made fun of by Joe Rogan when he can't hear him.
Oh yeah,
on his show,
he was. It's like. Somebody, and even he, Tom even talks about all the time. He's like, I know people are gonna mock me. Like, I know what they're gonna say. He's like, fuck that. He's like, whatever. He's like, you know what? As time goes on, people are gonna mock me less and less. And just like the Strange Times thing in 2011, he was like, hop forward now. We got To the Stars Academy, and they put out the 3 videos from the Pentagon, from the Navy, and the Air Force. And the government came out and said, yes, those are real. They are unidentified flying objects, and this happened. Right there, Tom probably just exploded and was just like,
I got him! I fucking got him!
Yeah. I already got it. He partnered with them. Like, the government was just like, he was like, look, let me roll this out. Let me put it out. And the government was like, and you have to come out and corroborate it. And they were like, okay, we'll start doing this. We'll start rolling stuff out. Because there's just so many instances. The show we watched the other day, it was like, 1969, and they were up in like Massachusetts. It was like tons of people in different cities on the same night had the same similar experience where they got like abducted, and everyone's just like, there's too many of us for us to be crazy. Like, fuck that, this happened.
There's something to something, and I don't get too much into it because, again, it's not a passion of mine. But again, as Travis Barker, I heard him say in an interview, Tom DeLonge's very passionate about this, and I'm not going to discredit anything because I don't know. It's just the way he goes about it. Sometimes he seems very erratic and a little manic, but
Well, he is.
he is. Yeah, he is. Like that is the truth. But again, and we'll wind this up here because we've touched on just so you get the idea of where he is right now, what he's doing. But I want to ask you honestly, and I know it's going to sound like a joke. Do you think big things are coming, like Tom DeLonge says? And do you think that we will be a little less? Do you think we'll be goofing on him a little less and actually be like, oh shit, all right, maybe you came across as a little loopy, but you for a reason you got really deep. What do you think?
Yes, I completely think he's going to start coming out with stuff. I always think big things are coming, and I'm ready because he was getting trailed by the government. He was getting his phones tapped. There was government officials. There was one guy who was just like, it's like, yo, I'm getting phone calls about you. Who the fuck are you? He's like, why are people asking me about you? And so I think he has access to stuff. He's too passionate to be out there just like lying about all this shit.
Yeah.
So, and whereas I grew up passionately about some of this stuff as well. We were watching shows, and I watched the History Channel Tom DeLonge show he did, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm having like flashbacks to my childhood. It's like I forgot about all this stuff, and it was way different watching the Navy give interviews about this stuff than watching. I think getting like trained soldiers who are meant, their brains work a little differently. They're meant to react in high pressure situations and see things as they are. I think listening to them talk about all this stuff puts legitimacy to it.
Yeah.
So I think he's actually doing a good thing, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see congressional hearings on Area 51
with Tom DeLonge. Oh, and he needs to be in his suit, his tie.
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff where he goes in his suit and he looks super weird. And I'm like, oh my god, he's such a little professional. Our little boy is growing up.
He has, and so have we. We've grown up with this group. We've grown up with this group of now 5 people. They've been and I think that's from 93, so they've been a band for 27 years. 28 years, excuse me. I believe. I don't know, my math's fucked up. But it's somewhere along those lines. Only 5 members, really, in the entire history of that.
Not bad.
It's impressive. I definitely think they are rock and roll Hall of Famers, whatever that means to you. It kind of means something to me. But I feel like they belong there, truly. Like, first ballot, hopefully. And it might be neat to see if Tom does something with them.
Yeah, because that's soon, isn't it? That's got to be...
I don't think they're on the ballot. I actually would like to check. That would be pretty neat. Hold on one second. Because if you can't tell, we are wrapping up this lovely, lovely podcast, this lovely series we have done on Blink-182. I can't believe we actually finished something, man. And by you, I mean me. And we.
I finished stuff.
So they're not on the. Now. So they became officially eligible in this year, but they are not on the ballot.
Well, who got on the ballot? Just a quick ballot look. Who do you think gets in?
Absolutely. So you have fun. We've wrapped up Blink-182. We've had a good time. You already know our thoughts, so we don't have to do a recap. You know our thoughts. We've taken you through this. It's over. We're going to go over the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees real quick, and we're going to tell you what the next season's going to be. All right? Did you have a good fucking time? I'm glad you did, baby. I'm glad you did. Now let's go over these nominees, because it's actually pretty stacked.
Right? Is there a number that they're allowed to let in, or can they put everybody in?
I don't know.
Like...
I really don't. But here's what we got. Pat Benatar, Dave Matthews Band, Before Blink, are you fucking kidding me? Depeche Mode, The Doobie Brothers, Whitney Houston, Judas Priest, Kraftwerk, never heard of them, MC5, Motorhead, Nine Inch Nails, Notorious B.I.G., Rufus featuring Shaka Khan, All right. Todd Rundgren, Soundgarden, T-Rex, and Thin Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy. All right.
You better fucking pop Thin Lizzy in that Hall of Fame.
Let's see.
So
I'm going.
We have to pick three, right?
Yeah, we'll pick three. Wait, can you bring that list back up? I don't know. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I'm off the bat. I'm going to throw Soundgarden in there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm not even a big Soundgarden fan. I recognize them.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to give Dave Matthews Band first ballot.
Personal. I
just can't. See, is this Nine Inch Nails first year allowed?
I
wonder if that's.
I don't
it
think
has
so.
To be. I'm surprised they're not in it. I'd put them in there and Judas Priest.
Yeah.
I think those are the three I'd throw in there. I have my issues with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think it should be a little more
exclusive.
A little more exclusive. But just looking at it real quick at the top of my head, I won't think about it too hard. I'll just go Nine Inch Nails, Soundgarden, and what the hell did I say? I'm not doing Whitney Houston.
Judas Priest.
Oh, Judas Priest. There we go.
Well, if I'm a betting man, I go Whitney Houston's a fucking shoe-in. Whitney, Soundgarden, Motorhead, if I had to pick three.
There you go.
And then Judas Priest and Thin Lizzy on the outskirts.
Pretty good.
That's what I take, and that's what I go with. And that's we decided to do that off the cuff because we don't give a shit. And Blink-182, they probably give a little bit of a shit about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, I'd be a little bitter if I got left off on the first ballot, but whatever. Fuck them. But anywho, Tyler, we did it, man. And I joked with the people. Just any final impressions from Blink you would like to share. Anything you learned, just, the friends you made along the way in this 3-month journey. What do you got?
I love this band. I will rip on them and love them till the day I die. They've been there. They're not the most deep band,
No.
But I'll put them on. I'm trying to cheer up, trying to get in a good mood.
All right.
If I want a little sadness, I'll listen to Adam's song. There we go. Other than that, love this band. No complaints.
Awesome. That's fandom. Yeah. And I agree with it too, because we can rip into it, we can dissect it, but at the end of the day, we're fans and we love it and we're apologetic. That's why even 9, I was bumping to it while I was listening to it, but of course you have to critique it. You have to compare it to the other ones. Any of those albums in a vacuum are pretty good pieces of work. If they were a band's only album, it would be like, cool, that band, I wish they had done more. But I get the similar impressions. We love Blink. We'll always love Blink. And it's over. The conclusion. We've done it. Now, Tyler, as we wind down, come to our end, it's time to announce to the fun people Season 2 of M3, our deep dives. You ready? Drum roll, please. Bank, 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 bank. That's our drum roll, because we are doing the Kings of White Boy Reggae. Sublime. We're doing Sublime for Season 2. We will be saying White Boy Reggae a lot. Get ready. If it offends you, you will have a fucking terrible time. This is not going to be the same love fest that Blink-182 was. I can tell you that with confidence. It'll be an experience for us.
I'm legit excited for that. I know I pitched you a couple ideas, and I'm excited for this one because I actually don't really know a lot about them.
No, we really jumped on it. Like, we got pretty excited about it. We're like, holy shit, that's actually a really good one. Like, as soon as you said it, we're like, yeah, that's Season 2 right there. Might be 3 episodes. I'm projecting, and I didn't project it right last time. I thought this would be 3 episodes, but now knowing, I think this will be 3 episodes. I think with confidence it'll be 3 episodes.
A lot less material to cover.
Yeah. Maybe 2. I don't know, because if it depends on how deep we go, but we'll see. We'll plan it out. I'm planning for 3 at the moment. But there it is. We have finished the first season of M3. There are the M3 deep dives, and it's been fun. Time for some shameless plugs. Check this out at SoundCloud.com. I believe it's well, let me double check, because I think it's SoundCloud.com/M3. I should do that for real. SoundCloud.com/M3. soundcloud.com
SoundCloud.
.com/M3. I think it's still M3 Live. Hold on. Nope, it is just... No, never mind. Hold up. Shameless plug, almost done.
Check me out at Barnes & Noble. I'll be reading The Lonely Astronaut this Saturday in the Children's Center.
Yes. So it is actually soundcloud.com/M3Live. I haven't gotten that little URL changed, but maybe by the time you're listening to this, it's changed. I don't know. So it's either M3 or M3 Live. You could check me out on twitch.tv/KilgoTV. I play games on there occasionally. The podcast is on there. It's on there right now. But it's not always up there, just sometimes. 2 YouTube channels. We have Kilgo TV, which is where my more structured, edited videos are going to go. The very first video on that channel is up now, and it's called How I Felt the First Time I Played as Solid Snake. Tyler's seen it, and he liked it. He will recommend it to you, right, Tyler?
I recommend it. I don't always watch a lot of your stuff. You have a lot of material. Yes. Look, sometimes I can't listen to you talk about wrestling for a long time.
Please don't.
This video is not that.
No.
So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to spread it out, because if you go to the Static Sweetness, the other thing that I do, it's me and Tom talk a lot about wrestling, but now I'm starting to spread out and make more palatable things for everybody, and more storytelling, and kind of condensed into shorter 3 to 10 minute sort of minor stories, or however you want to call it. But that's Kilgo TV. Kilgo92, bad boy, baby boy. That is the catch-all channel for everything. My streams. Sometimes I cover songs on there. It's just everything. It's the catch-all. The podcast is going to go on there. Fun clips. It's the dumping channel.
Shit show of dump area. Look at all that different stuff you got.
Yeah, it is. It's just a dump area, and it's fun. And there's fun shit up on there. It really is. Like, you can just go through and you get a real taste of who I am. And then we have the Twitter. It's at KilgoTV. I tweet at people. I tweet about things, and it's fun. It's just an easy way to reach me. You can DM me. Like, I'll get it on my phone directly. I will respond.
Gotta slide in them DMs.
That's right. I will send you one of my patented pictures, and I won't tell you. And it's not a nude, okay? I'm about to allude to a type of picture, but I don't want that to be inferred. I send a particular type of picture that Tyler's seen a lot. It is my signature. I will send you one. I promise. If you DM me, yeah, it'll be the very first thing I send you. I promise. And that's it for the shameless plugs. My co-host here, Tyler Sotera, he just does this with me, right?
And then I go to work. Sometimes I build things around the house.
That's right.
This is it. This is what I'm here for.
Well, awesome.
I have research. And I do this.
Well, first season of M3 in the books. Thank you for being with us live or on the taped version on YouTube or the audio version on Spotify or SoundCloud. We love you. We will see you soon for season 2. About a month. We do about an episode a month, so you'll see us. The regular amount of space will be done. But we'll see you soon for season 2. Sublime. Goodbye and good luck.
Bye.